I hope all are fine. Before we start our class, let's ask God's grace to bless us. Just close your eyes. Loving God, we ask your grace to bless each one of us, that whatever we are going to learn today, we may be able to understand and remember. We ask this prayer in your holy name. Amen. Students, what do you see in my hand? A matchstick. Students, what do you use to light the firewood or gas to prepare the meal? I hope lighter or the matchstick. So, dear students, today the topic of our lesson is the little match girl.
Before we start our class, let us learn new words which we will be coming across while reading the lesson. First, Christmas. It is the day on which the birth of Christ is celebrated each year 25th. Second, street. A road in a town, village or city that has shops, houses, etc. on one or both sides. Third, bright, having lot of light. Fourth, flame, area of bright burning gas that comes from something that is on fire. Fifth, stretch, making the arms longer. Sixth, grandmother, father's mother. Seventh, quickly, fast. Now let's continue the lesson. It was late on Christmas Eve. It was dark and very cold. In the cold and empty street, poor little match girl was walking sadly alone. She had lost her slippers and her feet were blue with cold. In a basket, she carried boxes of matches to sell. But that day, no one had the time to buy a single box of matches from her. The light shone in all the houses. The rich smell of good food came from their kitchen.
I am so hungry,
thought the little match girl. At last, tired and cold, she sat on the ground beside the wall of a big house. She put her cold feet under her and tried to keep warm.
I can't go home,
she said to herself.
I haven't sold any matches today. Father will be angry. He will hit me again.
Her hands were so cold. She took out a match out of its box. She thought,
I'll light it and warm my fingers.
Oh, how brightly the match shone. The little match girl held her hands around it. In the bright light of the match, she saw a stove with a big red fire. She felt so warm. The little girl stretched out her feet to warm them too, but the little flame went out. She struck another match. In its soft light, she saw through a window a big, beautiful dinner table. In the middle of the table was a big roast chicken. Oh, the smell of meat and vegetable and other good things to eat. The hungry little match girl stretched out her hands and fuss, out went the match. She could only see the dark, cold window of the house. She lit a third match. This time she saw a lovely Christmas tree. On the tree there were hundreds of candles. The little girl moved towards the tree, but again, fuss, the match went out. The light of the Christmas tree rose higher and higher. She saw them now as stars in heaven. As she looked up, one of them fell, drawing a bright line of fire across the sky.
Someone is dying,
thought the little match girl. Her grandmother had told her that
when a star falls, someone is dying and going up to heaven.
The little girl struck another match. The flame grew large and bright. In its light, she saw her grandmother. Her face was shining with a bright light. She looked at the little girl with love in her eyes.
Grandmother,
the little girl cried.
Please take me with you. Don't go away like the fire, the chicken and the Christmas tree. Please, grandmother, don't leave me alone.
Quickly she lit all the matches. She did not want her grandmother to go away. In the light of her matches, her grandmother took her in her arms. She took the little girl up above the rooftops and the clouds to a place where there was no cold, no hunger, no pain, and no sadness. The story The Little Match Girl by Hans Christian Andersen is set against the backdrop of a Christmas Eve. It was a very cold winter evening with snow and frost. When everyone was busy in celebrating the festive day with candles, Christmas trees, and delicious dishes, a poor little girl was wandering on the streets trying to sell her matches. She was barefoot. The girl was sure to be beaten by her father, as she could not earn a single penny the whole day. So she decided not to go home and sat down on the ground near the wall. While sitting there, she lit a match to warm herself, but it went off soon. The girl lit 3 more matches, one after another, and saw the visions of a roasted chicken on the table, a beautiful Christmas tree, and her grandmother who loved her most. By then, the girl realized that she would lose the vision of her grandmother when the match would go out. But she wanted her to stay there so much that she quickly lit all the rest of the matches to make sure the light stayed on. In the bright light of the matches, her granny looked more beautiful than ever before. She took her in her arms and flew up the sky to the heaven. The Little Match Girl is all about the poverty, hunger, and helplessness of a little girl who is sent to sell matches when she is supposed to stay at home or at school. When all the world seems to be celebrating the Christmas Eve, the girl is deprived of the joy, but the readers are caught in the riddle, whether it is sheer poverty of the family or the cruelty of a father to his daughter, maybe both. Whatever the case may be, the author has shown us how sometimes death can be better than life on earth. The poor girl got nothing here in this life. All the visions she had in the light of the matches only reflected her unfulfilled wishes and dreams. She also wished to enjoy some delicious food, to sit under a beautiful Christmas tree, and to have the company of her dear old grandmother. But it was not to be in her earthly life. She could only get those after death in the heaven.
Who was selling the matchstick?
The little girl.
Where did the little girl sit?
She sat near the wall.
Who took little girl to the heaven?
Students, for your home assignments, write T for true and write F for false. So, here the questions are. Mark the following statements as true or false. Number 1. The bitterly cold day was Christmas Eve. Number 2. The little match girl was afraid to go home because she would get a beating. Number 3. The girl was wearing warm clothes. Number 4. The girl's house was cold with broken roof and walls. Number 5. She struck a match to keep warm. Number 6. When she struck the first match, she saw a lovely warm stove. Number 7. When she struck the second match, she saw her grandmother. Number 8. She kept lighting the matches because she wanted to keep her grandmother with her. Number 9. The little match girl was dead in the morning. Number 10. All the people were very happy for the little girl. That's all for today. Thank you. See you in the next class.